Okay, I'll be talking about the Brazilian Mars analog simulant. Uh, okay, now we have some topics to explore about Habitat Marte Space Analog Station in Brazil, introduction, motivation, Cabugi volcano, surveys on Mars, analog soil, basalt based on Earth, reconnaissance of volcanic basalt deposits in the state of Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, soil analysis, methodology for soil analysis, research on applications of Mars analogous soil, next steps and conclusion. In this case, first of all, I'd like to show the location of Habitat Marte, Space Analog Station, in the city of Caiçara do Rio do Vento. That means the fissure of the Windy River, in Rio Grande do Norte State, Brazil. We are based here in the corner of South America. This region is a semi-arid place, okay? Because Brazil is not only rainforest, this area is a semi-arid region. And in this location, we have in our complex, we have two facilities, the main station, Habitat Marte, in the lava cave habitat. And here's a photo from a station and also a photo from lava cave habitat. And something very interesting is because 50 minutes driving from Habitat Marte, we have a extinct volcano called Cabugi, or Pico do Cabugi, that means Cabugi Peak. Some photos from Cabugi Peak is also, we can see here in this image, a very prominent basalt rocks. Also a very beautiful photo also from the in the neck of this extinct volcano formation. This is a crew from Mexico, participating in one EVA in Cabugi volcano last September. And about our introduction, we saw the planetary simulant database from University of Central Florida. They have a very interesting online database, and we identified some soils based in basalt in this database. And also in Cabugi volcano, we have also basalt. In this case, our motivation is understand if the soil from the Cabugi volcano can be considered analog soil. In this case, doing a survey in the planetary simulant database of University of Central Florida, we identified 3 experiments on simulated Mars soil based on basalt, and also 2 studies of moon analog soil. Here, we only mention about the Mars simulants. In this case, in the UCF database, they found the Korea Mars simulant, the Mojave Mars simulant, and the Martian Garden. The Mars soil simulant, or MMS, is this soil simulant is used by NASA in JPL. Okay. Also, this soil was collected in a basaltic flow on Mojave Desert. Okay. And also there is an article with the main authors. The main author is Gregory Peters, also with other authors like William Abbey, Gregory Bierman, Gregory Mungas, and Anthony Smith, Robert Anderson, Suzanne Douglas, and Luther Beagle. This was a publication of 2008. Okay. The second is about the Korea Mars simulant. Also, this Mars analog soil simulant was collected in Hanteng River in Korea. And the third is the Martian Garden. Also, the Martian Garden is a company that also produces the soil to some also education activities. Also, they provide this compound, the soil to schools around the world. Also have some a partner in Brazil that just received the soil for some experiments. In this case, we can see in this case two NASA knowledge soils based in basalt inspired the Habitat Marte research group. Think about Brazilian knowledge soil. We research to identify if our soil here in this volcano is analogue or not. Okay. About the conditions related to basalt features in the Cabugi volcano, we have some articles. Some articles are not new. We just have the notice about the presence of basalt in this place from a long time. Also, in this case, we developed a extravehicular activity, also driving from Habitat Marte to Cabugi Peak. And during this EVA was collected the samples and stored in some utensils. Okay, and this soil was collected and brought to Habitat Marte. Here are some participants, David Souza and Sarah, one of the missions. In this case, we did the analysis of the soil, not the rocks. Here are the photos of the samples. And the analysis was done in a mineral technology center. The CT Mineral is from the Technology Education Federal Institute, or IFRN, in Rio Grande do Norte State. And they did analysis related to semi-quantitative chemical analysis by portable X-ray fluorescence and other initiatives or other experiments, and in the end, releasing a technical report. This is some photos of the equipment and also the team of the laboratory that provide us the support for this analysis. And yes, and this was the results when we are doing the comparison with the composition presented by Peters in the article. And you can see some similarities, but also some differences. And for us, it would be very important we have more cooperation with some geology researchers. If someone, some researcher of geology, if like to contact me to discuss more about this result. Also, recently we had a meeting with Jen Blank, and she was mentioned that would be very interesting. We have more analysis about the soil, and we are very open to collaborate and try to do some publication with possible partners. And if someone from geology is listening me or watching later this presentation, I really appreciate, if possible, someone contact me to discuss more about deeper discussion about the this analog soil that we are presenting in Rio Grande do Norte State, where Habitat Marte is operating. Now I'd like to show some applications for analog soil. And the many applications visualized by us is the food cultivation on Mars and Moon. Our second application is for additive printing of items and products. And the third is supposed to be the additive printing of habitats. In this case, we are more focused in this moment in the first possibility. Also, we have like a seeder where we are using the soil to cultivate some plants. Okay, is the first application. Also, the next steps is define the kind of plant, selecting seeds, prepare the soil, cultivation, monitoring, and harvesting, and doing these more frequent and more present in our daily missions in the Habitat Marte uh, simulations. Okay, this is a second possibility, like that would be very interesting for future of space exploration, because imagine that if you can do some ceramics utensils using the soil, the knowledge soil, and how this would be interesting for the future of space exploration. Okay, if imagine we arriving on Mars and collecting the soil, the regolith, and using the regolith, uh, also adding water and making a kind of clay to do some printings of some utensils, like some bowls like this. This would be very interesting for the future of space exploration. I really like this possibility. And the third possibility is supposed to be the printing of habitats, 3D print of habitats. In this case, one of the more interesting tests was done by the crew of Martia, and also they achieved the goal of being one of the winners in a specific award. And this would be very interesting possibility in terms of the use of the Martian knowledge soil for future space exploration. And now for the challenges for habitat printing, identify the soil deposits with legal, technical, and logistical conditions to supply the raw material in quantity and quality. Prepare homogeneous mixture formulations to be used in the 3D printing process, and develop equipment and technology to perform the 3D printing of habitat. About our next steps, we are searching to identify in literature some articles about the comparison of different analogs, searching to understand the advantage and disadvantage of each analog soil, and necessity to develop concept tests about what would be the best habitat design and the best mixture soil and clay formulation to be used in 3D printing process. Also identify space geologists that would collaborate with us with the knowledge soil research. Also evaluate the results from Polish mission. During this year, we had a mission from Poland. The leader is Agnieszka Elwestowska. She's in the second, in this photo, the second person. And they take some samples from Kabushi volcano and transported these samples to laboratories in Poland. And now they announced that next week they will be releasing the first results from the analysis of these rocks and the soil based in Kabushi volcano. And this is very interesting because in the next presentation that we will be sharing, we would be mentioning more details about our knowledge soil. As in this case, I'd like to mention that this is like our commitment in terms of present a permanent research about the knowledge soil. And I'd like also to mention that, again, our location here in the corner of Brazil. And in this location, the Rio Grande do Norte state, we are very rich in terms of geology, presenting many different layers and compounds of minerals, and very interesting places in terms of mining research. Also, rich states, also presence of mining companies exploring these natural resources. And one of our goals is also we have some researchers for the Federal Institute of Technology and Education from Rio Grande do Norte state, studying some other possible spots that would present the other possibilities of analog soil. And would be very interesting if you identify for all the time or the next year probably the possibility about not have only one spot, mine spot, in terms sharing the possible analog soil, but many different places in these from the different sites in Rio Grande do Norte state. As a conclusion, the Brazilian Mars analog simulant can be seen as a very promising achievement for future research. Also, Habitat Marte is looking for academic partners and funding to acquire equipments and perform other scientific and technological experiments. The importance of international missions and cooperation with international researchers, and the importance to keep the missions, the international missions mainly, bring different researchers from different fields to understand, to collaborate with us related to the analog soil. To conclude this presentation, I have some announcements. The first announcement is the Space Analog Astronaut Training from November 16th to 21st. Okay, and this would be a very interesting opportunity to some possible analog astronauts candidates travel to Brazil, to semi-arid, and have a wonderful experience here with us. And we are doing strongly advertisement about and waiting possible candidates to be with us, okay? Also, a second announcement related to the Space Habitat event that will be happening from December 1st to 4th. And also the submissions of papers or abstracts of 300 words is until November 2nd. And this QR code, if you scan this QR code, you have the access to the submission page, also where there's some information about this Congress, okay? This Congress will be in Portuguese, English, and Spanish, okay? Have programs for different language, depending the number of submissions. This QR code is my WhatsApp. You can contact me in WhatsApp if you scan this QR code, and everybody are welcome to contact me. And this last QR code is the Instagram of Habitat Marte, where you can see a lot of results from our missions. In this case, we have more than 80 protocols operating in Habitat Marte and more than 30 different researchers in different fields like engineering, health, psychology, agriculture, and geology, and also about the operations. And everybody are welcome to collaborate with us, okay? And thanks so much for the opportunity to talk to a virtual audience. And now I'm concluding my presentation. Thanks so much.